Well, thank you for attending this press conference. Every year we're faced with the challenge of illegal fireworks in our community, and this administration, along with the council, has focused on what can we do to prevent people illegally shooting off fireworks. It's an important public message that we want to send, and we thank the media for covering this. So let me introduce the mayor of the city of Providence, Jorge Alorza, who is not only a strong supporter of public safety, but is keenly aware of the effects that fireworks have in our community, and focused to do everything we can to prevent not only the illegal fireworks, but injuries as well. Mayor Alorza.
All right, good morning everyone, and thank you for joining us. I also want to add my voice and thank the media for helping us spread this important message. Thank you to everyone who's joining me here today. Thank you, Commissioner Parry. I also want to recognize Councilwoman Joanne Ryan, who's with us, Chief Hugh Clements from the Police Department. We also have Chiefs Kevin Dolan and Derek Silva from the Providence Fire Department, and I'm thankful that Michael Sweeney from the Fire Marshal's Office at the state level has joined us. Appreciate you being here with us, Michael. It's really important to get this message out citywide and statewide as well. So as the Commissioner just mentioned, we have an important message today. Unfortunately, at this time of year, there's an increase in the use of illegal fireworks. And it's pretty straightforward. Most of the fireworks, essentially all of the fireworks that go up in the air, they're all illegal. And they're illegal for a reason. They're unsafe. In many cities throughout the country, you have fires that go up as a result of these, and so as much as possible, we want to avoid this. But also it's become more and more of a quality of life challenge throughout the city. I myself live in a very dense neighborhood. I've seen them and I've heard them in recent weeks. But over the past couple of years especially, as we get closer and closer to the 4th of July, the amount of fireworks has essentially become unbearable. Not just for me, but I know for so many of our neighbors throughout the city. So we're here with a couple of different messages. The first one is, know that most of the fireworks out there are illegal, and if we get reports of them, the police will be showing up, they will be confiscating, and you run the risk of potentially getting fined as well. Don't put yourself, don't put your children, don't put folks around you in that situation. The second message is be considerate. I'm sure that in whatever neighborhood you live, one of your neighbors likely has a young child, and I can certainly say this as the dad of a 3-year-old. When you put that child to bed, the last thing that you want is that child waking up angry and crying. And so please be considerate of other families throughout the city. Don't use the loud fireworks, essentially, the ones that go up in the air as well. Those are all illegal, and they really affect our quality of life. The third message is for anyone who is affected by the noise of these fireworks. There's a number that you can call here in the police department. We're putting additional resources, in fact, creating a task force to concentrate on illegal fireworks throughout this as we lead up to July 4th. So if anyone does see and wants to report illegal fireworks, you can always call the Providence Police Department. This is the non-emergency line at 401-272-3121. Again, that phone number is 272-3121. You can also, especially if it's during normal business hours, you can always dial my office at 311, or you can use the PVD 311 mobile app to report this. We really rely on the help of the entire community. Let us know where they are, and as you'll hear in a second, there are additional resources that we're putting towards this, and the police department will be ready to respond. And finally, the last message: if you really, really want your child, or if you want to experience an amazing July 4th fireworks display, please join us this year on Sunday, July 3rd at sundown. We're going to be at India Point Park once again, and I can tell you it's going to be spectacular. It's really going to be amazing, so please join us there. It'll be a controlled firework display done by a professional company, and it's entirely safe. So thank you everyone for your cooperation. Please know that there are potential consequences, but most importantly, please be considerate of your neighbors, and please don't use these illegal fireworks during this holiday season, and make sure that the quality of life in our neighborhoods is as strong and as peaceful as possible. Last but not least, I also want to thank the Providence Police Department for their work on this policy and on these policies, and thank you for everything that you do to make sure that we're safe in every way. Along with that, the Providence Fire Department, we can always count on them, and we thank you as well. So for all of these reasons, please don't put our police officers and our firefighters in harm's way, nor do you want to put any of our neighborhoods, homes, and kids in harm's way either. Thank you all for cooperating, and I hope we have a quiet run-up to July 3rd. I hope to see everyone on July 3rd at India Point Park. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. One of our greater supporters of public safety is our Councilwoman Ryan, who's been focused on not only fireworks, but public safety matters across the city, and she's been a champion for so many things for public safety. We appreciate all her work, and I'd call her up for a few comments. Councilwoman Ryan.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'd first like to thank our public safety officials that are with me, standing behind me today. They're truly the folks that carry out the hard work to keep our neighborhoods safe from fireworks, from ATVs, from crime, and I really want to thank you. Police and fire, you do a fabulous job, and the collaborative nature of your work is over the past few years under the leadership of Hugh Clements has truly been remarkable. I'm very happy to stand here with these folks to relaunch, and again, relaunch the city's successful fireworks task force. In the past few years, the city has made a significant reduction in the use of illegal fireworks that have been disrupting and endangering our neighborhoods. But there's much more to be done, and each year begins a challenge. As soon as the weather starts to warm up, they inundate our city, and even the quietest, most secluded neighborhoods aren't safe. Fireworks are more than a public nuisance. When in the wrong hands, they're downright dangerous. And, you heard the mayor talk today about what's legal or what is illegal. And I'm hoping that we get the message out, and I'm looking to the media before us today. We need to make sure, and that part of the task force initiative has always been to educate folks. Anything that goes up in the air and goes boom is illegal in Rhode Island. Anything that goes up in the air and goes boom is illegal. This task force, fireworks task force, was created back in the summer of 2020 when we were in the depths of the pandemic, if you recall. I remembered the increase in fireworks then, and I called Chief Clements and said, we have to do something, this is unbearable. And at that point, just to give you perspective, the police department had reported that there were about 20 calls related to fireworks complaints in June of 2019, but in June of 2020, that number had grown to 500. So 500 calls compared to 20 calls from 2019 to 2020. It was alarming back then, and that was the impetus for calling everyone together. So in response, again, this was a council initiative, I convened our public safety officials and the mayor's staff and the council staff, our licensing bureau. We've got everyone together in the council president's office, and we said, how can we work together to get our arms around this problem? We identified through this effort kind of a three-pronged approach. The first was public education, which we spoke of. Again, anything that goes up in the air in Rhode Island and goes boom is illegal. The council and the mayor's communications team, I'm very proud to say, collaborated on a communications effort to try to get that message out, and we still try to work to do that. Licensing enforcement is the other stool, the other prong in the stool, to try to take a very proactive approach on identifying businesses that are selling fireworks illegally. I know that the fire department works very diligently with the business department of licensing and DBR to do that. Unfortunately, there are sales of fireworks coming into Rhode Island that are illegal, either via internet sales or retail sales, and we need to stop that. As well, the third prong and the most important piece is obviously a coordinated effort by public safety to focus on the hot spots and the problematic areas. This effort led to the creation, this is the task force that we're talking about today, and we resulted in multiple arrests and confiscation of illegal fireworks through the years. Thanks to this collaborative effort, we now have more than a dozen law enforcement officials coordinating enforcement in our communities, helping with education in and around Providence. We have the first of its kind reporting system, including the non-emergency number that was provided with beefed up staff to respond. But we need the support and input from the community. If you see something, say something. If you know that illegal fireworks are being shot off in your neighborhood, call that number. You're going to get a response. At the end of the day, we all want a fun and safe summer for everyone. So let's work together and make it a reality. And once again, my heartfelt thanks to the public safety officials for their hard work in addressing this true neighborhood nuisance. You're doing a fine job. Thank you.